Many of us have lingered long, much longer in the alehouse than originally intended. Whether it be the fine ale, the conviviality, the company of good men, the warmth of the fire, all conspiring with the storm without to hold us back from the road that we ought to take. One such gentleman was a contemporary of Robert Burns, and he was susceptible to these things.
His name was Thomas Graham of Shanter.
It's said that on one occasion, in an alehouse in Ayr, the idle boys of the village took great glee in pulling the hairs from his horse's tail, which was tethered outside the inn, one by one, till, when he did ride home, the horse had scarce a stump. This may or may not have been the inspiration for Burns's poem, Tam O'Shanter. Burns' wife, on one occasion in the evening, while awaiting his return, took a walk up the river to see if she could find him, and approaching him at a distance, noticed that he was in a state of high agitation and given to bouts of uncontrollable mirth. Wisely, she thought, I'll leave him alone. Burns wrote this poem in one day. When chapman billies leave the street and drouthy neighbours meet, as market days are wearing late and folk begin to tack the gate, while we sit boozing at the nappy, getting fou and unco happy, we care nae on the lang Scots miles, the mosses, waters, slaps and stiles that lie between us and our hame. Where sits our sulky sullen dame, gathering her brows like gathering storm, and nursing her wrath to keep it warm. This truth fand honest Tam O'Shanter, as he for airy nicht did canter, all there, when there a tune surpasses for honest men and bonny lasses. Ah, Tam, hadst thou but been sae wise as taking thy ain wife Kate's advice, she telled thee weel
There was a skellum, a blatherin', blisterin', drunken blellum,
that fae November to October,
I market day I wasna sober,
that ilka melder with a miller,
thou sat as long as thou had siller,
that every nag that cawed a shoe on,
the smith and thee got roaring fou on,
that in the Lord's hoose, even on Sunday,
thou drank wi' cocked and gin till Monday.
she prophesied that late or soon thou would be found deep drooned in Doon, or catch it with the warlocks o' the Merk, by Alloway's old haunt kirk. Ah, gentle dames, it gars me greet to think how many counsels sweet, how many lengthened, sage advices the husband for the wife despises. But to our tale. Market nicht, Tam had got planted unco recht, fast by an ingle bleezing finely, wi' reaming swats that drank divinely. And at his elbow, Suitor Johnny, his ancient, trusty, drouthy crony. Tam lood him like a very brother, they had been fou for weeks together. The nicht drave on wi' sangs and clatter, and aye the ale was growing better. The landlady and Tam grew gracious, wi' favours, secret, sweet and precious. The suitor told his queerest stories, the landlord's laugh was ready chorus, the storm without micht roar and rustle. Tam didna mind the storm a whistle. Care mad to see a man sae happy, e'en drooned himsel amang the nappy. As bees fly hame wi' lades of treasure, the minutes wing their way wi' pleasure. Kings may be blessed, but Tam was glorious, o'er all the ills of life, victorious. But pleasures are like poppies spread. You seize the flower, the bloom is shed. Or like the snow falls on the river, a moment white, then melts forever. Or like the borealis race that flits ere ye can point its place. Or like the rainbow's lovely form, vanishing amidst the storm. Nae man can tether time nor tide. The hour approaches, Tam on ride. That hour o' night's black arch, the keystone. That dreary hour he mounts his beast in, and sick a nicht he taks the road in, as ne'er a poor sinner was abroad in. The wind blawed as 'twad blawed its last. The rattling showers rose on the blast. Speedy gleams the darkness swallowed. Loud, deep and lang the thunder bellowed. That night a child might understand. The deal had business on his hand. Wheel mounted on his grey mare Meg, a better never lifted leg, Tam skelpit on through dub and mire, despising wind and rain and fire, whiles holding fast his gid blue bonnet, whiles crooning o'er some old Scots sonnet, whiles glowering round wi' prudent cares, lest bogles catch him unawares. Alloway was drawing nigh, where ghasts and hoolets nightly fly. By this time he was crossed the ford, where in the snaw the chapman smoored, and past the birks in Meeklestane, where drunken Charlie broke his neck bane, and through the whins and by the cairn, where hunters fand the murdered bairn, and near the thorn aboon the well, where Mungo's mither hanged hersel. Before him, down pours all his floods, the doubling storm roars through the woods. Lightnings flash fae pole to pole, near and more near the thunders roll, when, glimmering through the groaning trees, Alloway seems in a blaze. Through ilka bore the beams were glancing, and loud resounded mirth and dancing. Inspiring bold John Barleycorn, what dangers thou can make us scorn. Wi' tuppenny, we'll fear nae evil. Wi' Ushkeva, we'll face the devil. The swats, sae reamed in Tammy's noddle, fair play, he cared nae deals a boddle, but Maggie stood recht sair astonished, till by the heel and hand admonished, she ventured forward on the light, and vow Tam saw an uncouth sight. Warlocks and witches in a dance. Nae cotillion brent new fae France, but hornpipes, jigs, strathspeys and reels put life and metal in their heels. A winnock bunker. In the east there sat old Nick in shape of beast. A towsy tyke, black, grim and large. To give them music was his charge. He screwed the pipes and gart them skirl till roof and rafters added dirl. Coffins stood round like open presses that showed the dead in their last dresses, and by some devilish cantrip slight, each in its cold hand held a light, by which heroic Tam was able to see upon the holy table a murderer's banes and gibbet-aisles, twa span-lang wee unchristened bairns, a thief new-cutted for a rape, wi' his last gasp he's gabbed and gape. 5 tomahawks wi' blood red rusted, 5 scimitars wi' murder crusted, a garter which a babe had strangled, a knife a father's throat had mangled, whan his ain son o' life bereft. The grey hairs yet stuck to the heft. 3 lawyers' tongues turned inside out, wi' lies seamed like a beggar's coat, and priests' hearts, rotten, black as muck, lay stinking vile on every nook. We made her horrible and awful, which even to name would be unlawful. As Tammy glowered, amazed and curious, the mirth and fun grew fast and furious. The piper loud and louder blew, the dancers quick and quicker flew. They reeled, they set, they crossed, they cleekit till ilka carlin swat and reekit and coosed her duddies to the wark and linkit at it in her sark. Now Tam, oh Tam, had they been quines, oh plump and strapping in their teens, their sarks, instead of creashy flannin, been snaw-white 1700 linen. Their breeks of mine, my only pair, the tents were plush, I get blue hair. I would have gied them off my hardies for I blink o' they bonny birdies. But withered beldams, old and droll, rig-woody hags that would spin a foal, lumping and flinging on a crummock. I wonder didn't turn thy stomach. But Tam kent what was what fu brawly. There was aye winsome wench in Wally that nicht enlisted in the corps. Lang after kenned on Carrick shore, for mony a beast to dead she'd shot, and perished mony a bonny boat, and shook baith meikle corn and bear, and held the countryside in fear. Her cutty sark o' Paisley Harn, which as a lassie she had worn, in longitude, though sorely scanty, it was her best, and she was vaunty. Ah, little kent I Reverend Granny, that sark she coughed for her wee Nannie, wi' 2 pund Scots. 'Twas a' her riches, we'd e'er graced a dance o' witches. But here my muse her wing maun cure. Sick flights are far beyond her power. To sing how Nannie louped and flang, a supple jade she was and strang. How Tam stood like ane bewitched, and thought he's very een enriched. Even Satan glowered and fidgeted fu fain, and hooched and blew wi' might and main, till first I caper, syne another, Tam tint his reason a' together, and roars out, "Well done, cutty sark!" And in an instant all was dark, and scarcely had he Maggie rallied, when out the hellish legion sallied, as bees buzz out wi' angry fyke, when plundering herds assail their bike, as open pussy's mortal foes first pop, then starts afore their nose. As eager runs the market crowd, when "Catch the thief" resounds aloud, so Maggie runs, the witches follow, wi' mony an eldritch screech and hollow. Oh Tam, thou'll get thy farin', in hell they'll roast thee like a herrin'. In vain thy Kate awaits thy coming, Kate soon will be a woeful woman. Now, do thy speedy utmost, Meg, and win the keystone o' the brig.
There at them, thou thy tail may toss, a running stream they darena cross.
But ere the keystone she could make, the fainter tail she had to shake, for Nannie, far before the rest, hard upon noble Maggie pressed, she flew at Tam with furious ettle, but the Metal was she Maggie's metal. I sprang, brought off her Maester Hale, but left behind her ain grey tail. The carlin caught her by the rump and left poor Maggie scarce a stump. Now, what this tale o' truth shall read, ilk man and mother's son take heed. Whene'er to drink you are inclined, or cutty sarks run in your mind, think you may buy the joys our dear. Remember Tam O'Shanter's mare.